Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's first topic, Rashod Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins, trouble in paradise. Look, a lot of Raven fans, because look, as Raven fans, you know, everything has kind of been going crazy since the news that DeAndre Hopkins is a free agent and he's already had the teams that he likes and wants to go to. And there's been reports that the Ravens look like they might try to add him. And you already know there's going to be a lot of topics that fans talk about. But one of the prevalent topics right now that is blowing up on Twitter as we speak is the commencement or the displacement of one named Rashod Bateman. People are saying that acquiring DeAndre Hopkins is bad for Rashod Bateman and nobody is thinking about him and he's a human being and this is a bad move and we don't need DeAndre because of Bateman and blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you this right now. Let me be real with y'all. Who do y'all think is going to be out there on 11 personnel? Seriously. If we get DeAndre Hopkins, Bateman is on the field. That's just how it goes. It'd be Bateman. It would be DeAndre. And then it would be an in and out between OBJ and Zay Flowers. But to act like, and this is what bothers me with a lot of people, because people do not learn. Last season, do you know how many Raven fans cussed me dry? Do you know how many Raven fans said, Nitro, you don't know what you're talking about? Do you know how many Raven fans hit me up in my DMs saying that we're good, we don't need Hollywood, we got Bateman? And you know what I kept telling everybody? Because everybody remembers, if you follow me on Twitter, everything I'm saying now, a lot of you can say, I remember that. I remember Nitro, I remember. And I said, if anything happens to Bateman, because he's already been hurt once, he might get injured again, because a lot of times, because y'all have never been injured. A lot of y'all haven't. And that's fact. Now, I'm speaking as a former athlete. What happened with me was I got my Achilles had an 1.5 inch separation. That's what happened. I trained to get my body back in the best shape. But inevitably, you're still favoring one side, right? It just happens naturally. And I ended up shredding my left knee also. So it was my left Achilles. And I strived to get back. Then I blew out my left knee. And that was all she wrote. And speaking from a former athlete, I said, you know what? That is it's a real possibility. Because it happens to a lot of athletes. And what had happened? He got injured again. Now, I've said so many times that I wholeheartedly believe in Bateman. I think Bateman could be a top 10 receiver in the entire NFL. But this notion that we should coddle or baby him, to me, it's asinine. It's foolish and it's childish. And it's not even reasonable to the team. I want y'all to think about this real quick, right? Tell me if I'm wrong about this, right? Because I always like to use reasoning, right? Raven fans complained about the Bengals. The Bengals had a 1,000-yard receiver in Tyler Boyd. Everybody, Tyler Boyd's nice, right? Okay. Then they went on and got T. Higgins. We're like, T. Higgins is nice, right? Okay. Then they went out and got Chase. Did you hear anybody complaining about Tyler Boyd not having enough targets and it being unfair to Tyler? No! Do you know what those three guys did? They became a three-headed monster. That's what they became. And guess what? The Bengals got better because of it. Because iron sharpens iron. Three-headed monster at wide receiver. They literally became Ghidorah. And look it, I'll be real with you. Lamar Jackson in my eyes is Godzilla. But man, let me tell you this right now. Ghidorah, those 3 wide receivers can give him a run for his money. You heard any complaining from their fan base? No. Did you hear any complaining from their players? No. They said, yeah, we're going to figure it out. Who doesn't want more talent? That means we get more open looks, easier ways to break stuff open, because you can't double any of us. You're going to say, oh, that's a special case, Nitro. Other stuff ain't like that. Okay, fine. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Godwin, Mike Evans, AB. Did they complain? Remember, Tom Brady had those two. He came in and said, look, I already got weapons. I got Mike Evans and Godwin. These are weapons galore. And he said, more. I need more. Give me more. So he said, let me get Gronk also. On top of having OJ Howard. On top of having, I forgot the other guy's name. Give me Gronk. Oh, and we have these guys. I want AB also. Did anybody complain? No. You know what they went out there to did? They went out there, competed, put on their best performances, and won a Super Bowl. For anything AB could say bad about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, unlike a lot of star receivers, he gets to end his career with a Super Bowl on his resume. Mike Evans, as great as he's been, gets to end his career with a Super Bowl on his resume. For as good as Godwin is, he gets to end his career with a Super Bowl on his resume. Only Raven fans will say, oh, we're good enough. Who cares? We don't need no more. It's offense. You guys just want too much. You want. This is payback for all of the crap that Lamar Jackson has had to play with. You get where I'm coming from? And look, I'm not saying like, oh, players are crap or anything else. You know why? Because those guys got to feed their families. I'm saying talent level compared to Lamar's contemporaries. It's never been close. It's never been a fair fight. Now we have an opportunity to make it a fair fight, and you guys complain. You're like, oh, no, we have too much. I mean, think about this real quick. Bateman's coming off of a major injury. OBJ's coming off of a major injury. Like, what are we doing here? Duvernay's coming off of a major injury. What are we doing here? Look, I'm just going to be real. I'm going to be honest. DeAndre Hopkins, simply just getting him, takes him away from the other teams. Getting him spreads out the ball more, and it will force us to be more in 11 personnel. It would give guys breathers, allow them to be explosive. So when they're on the field, they're running their most pristine routes, because guess why? They're rested. Do you know why 2019 Ravens were doing so well defensively? Because the offense was giving them so much time and so much opportunities for rest. It's the same thing with any player. So instead of because a player is going to give you, let's say he runs 40 plays, right? Out of those plays, he can run probably 10 plays at full speed, 100% speed. The other ones, he has to half it. Why? Because he's tired. They're not robots. But now, let's say you cut that down to 30 to make room for somebody else. Now, instead of 10, they're running 15 pristine routes, which means that they have a better chance of getting, instead of less targets, but bigger yardage on bigger gains. We got to get out of our own way, guys. Every team will fill up their offensive weaponry till there's nothing left. I have already said this, and I mean it. I want y'all to understand that I 100% stand by whatever I say. I want Lamar Jackson to look literally like Rambo. I want him to have every weapon in the world at his disposal. because I believe in what he can do. And I believe that if he has comparable weapons, then we're going to win not one, not two, but multiple Super Bowls. And the same people that were saying, oh, we should get DeAndre, they're going to be an afterthought. You're going to forget everything you said. So buck up, guys. Bateman is a professional, a first-round talent. If he's really that guy, he's going to shine. No matter how much darkness there is around somebody, light pierces dark. And I'm telling you this right now. I believe Bateman has innate light. He will shine. And trust me and believe, when he's winning a Super Bowl, there's going to be no complaints. There's just going to be like this. And remember, OBJ only signed a 1-year deal. What if they backload the deal with DeAndre? OBJ moves over to greener pastures. Now it's OBJ, Bateman, and Zay that's leading the charge for another year. Let's be real, guys. Let's be real. Let's get him. That's a great problem to have, especially in case of injury. Insurance. Just because you buy a new car doesn't mean you go on the street without insurance. Just because you own 3 nice cars, you're saying, well, you still buy insurance because anything can happen. Just like farmers say, bump, 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 bump. Because we've heard it all and we've seen it all. We're Raven fans. I like to have comparable, full-fledged insurance. And you should too. And that's another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Thank you all for watching. You know how we do it over here. Funs and laughs. But it's rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. And as long as you're leaving a comment, you know I'm going to respond. Just be respectful, and we got no problems. And if you'd like to donate to this channel to help it grow, at the bottom of the screen is a QR code for the Cash App. Cash App is located in every video that we do in the description. And the name of it is TheWunderkindShow. Show. Remember, that money goes for better equipment. When I have to take trips, take drives for interviews, certain stuff like that. It just helps with content wholeheartedly. The last couple of times, it helped with getting a camera so I can even give you better clarity in the way that you delve into our content. So please, if you want to do that and bless this channel, that's how you do it. And also, we have a Patreon. Go out there and become a patron if you want to go extra in your fandom. Access to me, access to Discord, questions from subscribers, sweepstakes for merch, and fantasy football. It's a list of things that you get, and I believe it's worth it. So if you want to help, go ahead, do that. And I want to say before we close, I believe that we got two new patrons. Chocolate Lady Cap and DJB. Thank you for coming patrons of this channel. You are so appreciated. Thank you for your investment, not only into getting better content, but investing into this channel. Because we're building a media empire over here. That's what we're doing.